So I'm Lynn Wood. I have a second grader at St. Anne's, and I'm a co-chair of the Home and School Association.
Yeah. My name is Carrie and I have 3 boys at St. Anne's, 2nd grade, 4th grade, and 8th grade. And I am also co-chair with Lynn for the Home and School Association.
Well, one of the roles of the Home and School Association is to garner the engagement of families. And I think that really just contributes so much to what the community feel that we keep hearing students and parents and teachers talk about. Much of that comes from the fact that there are parents around. Our kids are used to seeing other adults around. They have a level of respect that I think is much higher than you may see in other situations, because they know that they're, first of all, is someone to go to if they have questions or have any concerns, so that makes them confident. But it also teaches them a level of respect. There's always kind of someone there who is deserving of your respect.
And I think that plays into families really getting to know each other, because a lot of parents are in the classroom, volunteering for events, doing lunch duty. So the kids come home and they tell stories about this mother or this father or this grandmother or grandfather who were at lunch duty on that particular day, and we're telling a story or playing a game with them out in our parking lot for recess, or whatever it may be. So we really do see a family environment at St. Anne's, and that's something that my husband and I have always really enjoyed, because you get to know fellow, you go to church with these people, and then you also, your kids are in class with them, and then you see them at school, and it just develops a whole different kind of relationship.
I think as wearing my parent hat, having families around and families engaged it makes me feel good when my daughter comes home and talks about that, because I know that there is this adult, interaction, and she's aware of it, and they know what she's doing, and there's some accountability. And from a home and school side, it's great because it takes the talents and skills and contributions of all kinds of families and all kinds of individuals to make a school like St. Anne's successful. Mm-hmm. So not just the financial contributions, but the skills and the talents that people have. And so I think that we work really hard as a Home and School Association to figure out what it is that people can and want to bring to the school, and then offering them opportunities to do that. And so we've seen that expand, I think, a lot.
And it's a really nice tie. Home and School Association is a really nice tie with staff and families, and the church community as well, to bring together these opportunities for families to become engaged in the school and develop this. We partake in their academics. We talk a lot. We know what's going on in the school. We're able to give our insight to their academic life, their social life, and then that also ties into the spiritual life. So Home and School really does tie those 3 components together nicely. With my 3 children at St. Anne's, what I have found is that I've really enjoyed the small classroom environment. There's a teacher and an academic aide in almost every classroom. So the student ratio to teacher ratio is quite high, which is a really nice opportunity for our students to be taught where they're at. So a teacher might take a group of students to the teacher's lounge to work on something, while the teacher in the classroom works with another group of students. And so you can see that they really are meeting the students where they're at and where their needs are at. In particular, this past year, math has developed a program where they really are teaching the students where they are at. And so, for example, my 4th grader is in the 6th grade math, because that's what he tested into, and he is excelling this year in the 6th grade math. And my 8th grader is doing 9th grade algebra this year, which is a great opportunity. And so they've really developed this math program to meet the needs where the students are at and work with them. And I feel that they do that in every subject across the board.
Yeah, I think it is that personalized learning aspect that is really important. And obviously with a smaller class size, you have more opportunities to do that. But the fact that they go out of their way to identify where your child is, work with them individually, that helps not just with their academics, but I think with their overall feeling of self-confidence, and certainly sets the groundwork for their future success.
Yeah. And it also creates this environment in school that you're not just with, if you're a 4th grader, you're not just learning with the 4th graders. You have a mix of some 5th graders and some 6th graders, and it really kind of crosses the grades. And I think that that's a nice feel for the students to learn together.
I think, regardless of what your beliefs are, helping children understand that they are a piece of the larger world, that there are, beings greater than them, and that to have that endorsement of a very caring, nurturing, faith-based environment is critical, not only to their academic learning, but really to their social and just their holistic learning.
Mm-hmm. And it just comes out in so many ways about how the kids care about each other. And one thing we hear over and over again is how the students, you might have an 8th grade student that's helping a kindergartner, or a 6th grade, they just really cross boundaries and really care about each other. And we have this wonderful faith sharing groups in our school that they get together, and when they have mass on certain mass days on Fridays, they sit together, they do worship together, they have different times that they spend together outside of that environment as well, and it just really crosses a lot of boundaries, which is a really wonderful thing to see. And we have parents tell us all the time how they love how the students interact and how the bigger kids help the littler kids, and how that's such a nice environment. But one of the reasons also that my husband and I sent our children to St. Anne's was that faith-based learning and the moral development, and just knowing that along their day that they are getting pieces of faith and religion, and that was just a really important piece for us.
I think part of that level of self-confidence that the kids have come from the attention that they get from their teachers, the respect that they get from other students and from teachers and from parents who are in the building, and the opportunities for them to try different things. So when the students have a chance to be in a musical and they develop the skills that go along with that, there's an amazing level of self-confidence that comes from that. And that doesn't just prepare them for future drama participation, but for, kind of the world. So I think that kind of exposure to experience and sort of lifting them up, and it goes with that faith environment as well, it just gives them a real solid sense of self-confidence.
And I think because there's a smaller group of students working with the teachers, like you said, the teachers really give them a lot of opportunities and a lot of freedom in many ways to explore, or to go somewhere and work as a group, and they have confidence in them, and then in turn the students gain confidence because they know that the teacher trusts them, and that's that relationship, that mutual relationship with the teachers. And I've seen, as my oldest son has gotten older and older, every year the teachers give them more autonomy and more time to process things and how they want to see that things done, whether it be through projects or through group work or through their own individual education. The teachers really foster that, and that has helped him gain a lot of self-confidence in his learning. Another really awesome thing that happened this past year is we received a grant that our technology teacher was able to purchase tablets, and our 7th and 8th graders all received their own tablet, and they get to take it with them to every class, and they get to bring it home at night. And so it really is a one-to-one education opportunity for them, that they have access to this. They can put their good reads on there. They do all their reading through the tablet. They interact with the teachers through the tablet. So their history teacher is also doing projects that then they have to use the tablet. So the teachers are really grasping the technology and where it needs to go in the future. And we just heard at our last home and school meeting that hopefully we have another grant coming through. So these tablets are going to move down to the 6th graders, and the 7th and 8th graders will be getting new tablets next year. So we see this growing throughout the years.
And I think along with that, the fact that the school is small and has some flexibility in being able to expand its curriculum to meet, these kinds of new technologies into this school, our 2nd grader every day has access to a tablet. And I mean, you see them incorporating that into it. And so it's not like if the money comes through, or you put it in a budget and then you don't see it for a year or 2 years, and perhaps the curriculum doesn't follow it for another, year after that. Right. We saw it starting immediately. It's completely wrapped up into their current curriculum, and they're using it. And so I think that's a great benefit of a school that size.